Hey, welcome to our podcast on Meta's MovieGen. Right, so it's amazing to see how the video models are progressing. Right, so you all might have gone through the paper and also the samples. Right, so I would like to understand from you, and we will discuss lots of things that are there in the paper. Right, what exactly is happening with Meta and how it can actually change the landscape of AI media generation. Right, so first of all, let me introduce the team here. We have Johan,
Hello everyone,
who's like
Johan.
the AI guy at igebra.ai. Right, so he has been working on many projects and he's building a tool called AI Film Studio now. Right, so which is kind of linked to many image and video generators. So welcome, Johan. And we
Nice
have
to be here.
Ishal. Ishal is a quick learner and she's fond of documenting and designing things. Right, and she wrote a summary paper on yesterday's 60-page paper from Meta.
92 page.
92 page, okay. Wow. Right, so that's wonderful. Welcome, Ishal. And we have Aditi, an AI enthusiast from Bangalore.
Yeah,
And,
so
yeah, and we also have Sudhanshu, another creative AI enthusiast with technical skills. Right, and we have Swatiga.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Swatiga joining in from Chennai. She's also very enthusiastic about AI. And Aditi, Sudhanshu, and Swatiga, they all are using AI models, especially image models and video models to generate content. Okay, so first let me ask the summary of yesterday's paper. So what exactly Meta is trying to do? What are the differences between what Meta has announced and the existing models, right, compared to models like Runway or Luma Dream Machine? So what are the major differences that you see, Johan?
The major difference is I noticed that currently the Runway and Luma are producing only 5 to 10 seconds and even in low FPS. But what Meta has on offer is it produces 16 seconds, that's mentioned in the paper, and even the mention have minutes long videos in the next versions. So it's also generating at 16 FPS, which is a lot of helpful and it would be very smooth for the viewers too. That was
Okay.
very interesting.
Wonderful. And Ishal?
So one of the key differences the way the model has been trained. So earlier, all these state-of-art models were not trained on a blueprint system, and that's where this temporal autoencoder comes into play. That Meta has been using for MovieGen. So in this, they have whenever user enters a prompt, a specialized blueprint is created in a latent space, where according to that the encoder and decoder works to create the videos. Hence, the videos are so in detail and exactly as the prompt has been describing. And the reason is because we are just compressing or taking in the important information itself. So it does not allow the model to hallucinate a lot. And the parameters on which the model has been trained for our video, it has been trained on a 30 billion parameter. Foundation model has been trained on 30 billion parameters. So imagine the amount of data through which it goes.
Right. So let's ask from the creators, right? What kind of challenges that you generally face when you are building a video, right? You all have tried building videos recently using AI tools, right? Aditi, Sudhanshu, and Swatika. Yeah, Sudhanshu, so you have been working on so many video generations, right? So what do you think are the major, problems you were facing? What were the shortcomings of the models that we are using, like Luma Dream Machine?
Yes, sir. While generating a video from image to video, the main problem was that challenge that we faced, that if we weren't give the prompts correct, then the video generation was not going great. That the image, the videos were getting scattered after few seconds and all. So that was a very big problem that we faced.
Okay, you're saying there is no relation between the prompt that you're entering and the video it is actually producing, right?
Yes.
That means the creative control. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I too faced it. So we don't have absolute control on the final outcome, right? So Ishal, how do you think it is going to be taken care in the new model, the MovieGen?
Like earlier I mentioned, now the prompting problem. So what MovieGen does is once you enter the prompt, so it takes the important information out of your prompt, like for example the object, the moments that you're describing, the background information, the characters, and it converts it to a template or a blueprint template, and this template is sent to our generator. So that's why so accurate and so specific videos are able to be generated because of this quality of MovieGen.
Okay. So, for example, they showed us some examples on their website, on their blog, right? Wherein dolphins, you can ask for a dress on dolphins, a specific dress on dolphins, and specific setting around the dolphins, right?
Yes.
After the movie has been generated.
Yeah.
Right. So far, I guess we didn't have such kind of control,
Exactly.
right, at the fullest level. But of course, Adobe was trying to do that, but we don't have it right now. Adobe actually wanted to do it, and it also showed some examples in the past, right? You after you have taken the movie, you can select the areas and you can do something with it with a prompt. Okay, but this Meta's model seems to be even more advanced, right? So with just words, you're able to control what happens inside the scene.
Yeah, exactly. And this joint modeling. So, for example, text to image model and the image to video model that has been joined together, and they have trained it on a big overlog of an of 1 million parameters. So, I mean, in this way, they have actually helped advance the and make the entire process easier. So, instead of prompting again and again and again, you just have to, once the prompt is given, it will adjust, it will create a blueprint and then generate your videos. So that's a very interesting process.
Right. And also, I think, Aditi, you were talking about the consistent character creation, right? The issue with consistent character, because you made a film
Yeah.
wherein all the characters of the film, they look different in different scenes.
Yeah, they got like different. So there was a slight change in the features of my character.
Right.
It was very tough to maintain the like consistency, the same thing. Uh, Even after giving the prompt like that, so I can say that's it.
Yeah.
It's very tough, so to create the character and give it motion. To be honest.
Right. See, the point is, so far we've been trying to do it in two steps. One, first generate the image and then animate. So I'm thinking probably Meta would eliminate the generation of the image itself. Probably, I don't know. Right? So that would be like a wonderful thing to happen in the creative process. Right? So currently it's like a two-stage process. You need to first create the images and then animate. Right? Maybe if Meta, that's what it is, if it is promising like personalization, right? They call it as personalization. That means you define a character and you can actually generate multiple videos, a series of videos of the same character in different locations with different objects, maybe with the different other characters. That's it. That's all a movie creator wants to have. All right? So I see that, okay, this whole thing is going to a different dimension now. Right? So I still remember the initial days of the video generation, right? So how odd looking they were, right? We were just getting a few seconds of motion. I still remember we were using a tool called Kyber, and it was generating about 3 or 4 seconds of just motion, some motion, right? To today, wherein you're able to actually create the complete scene by just defining, by just asking for it, right? So now let's ask Johan. So what are the other technical features? Because they also gave a comparison, right? So the evaluation, they compared their model with many other models in the market, right? So can you just throw some light on that comparison?
Yes, so they compared with currently Runway ML latest model and Luma, and they even compared with Sora. According to me, the comparison with Sora was on par, and the realism was very good in MovieGen compared to Sora. Sora was taking prompts, and the backgrounds were generating realism, and the main character was generating an animated style. But MovieGen takes in prompts very well and includes the character inside the scene instead of separating the scene and the character from the original prompt.
Okay. Okay. So do we have any specific numbers, Ishal, on that?
Yeah, I mean there is an evaluation chart that they give, but this that isn't standard deviation, so that is difficult to understand for a layman. So if we put it simply, they have compared different models like Runway Gen 3, we have Luma Labs and Kling 1.5, and there were two other models as well, that is OpenAI Sora and one more. So the thing is, it was in standard deviation terms. So if we simply put it out there, they compared it on basis of model architecture. They compared on the basis of different benchmarks that are already available in the market. And then there's one more thing that they did was parallelization and scaling. So how the pre-trained data actually helped them get advanced in their model training, and how it actually helped them compute this entire structure more significantly than the other models that are existing.
So, and I also have another question, because Meta has been releasing their models like Llama in the open source model, right? So will they release this also in the open source mode, or this is going to be a proprietary model? What do you think?
I feel like if we talk about the initial experimentations, because like for example, every company wants data, experimental data. So opening it to the public for a few months or a specific amount of time can help gain insights and feedback. But a model of such power and such a good, new technology behind it, I don't think so. They will open it to the public for a long time. They are gonna charge for it. So
So what do you think, Johan?
Yes, I think the same too, because open source takes time to implement things. For example, the infrastructure should be handled by the users, the end users of the companies. So I think the current MovieGen is not at the stage where the private users or the companies can handle the infrastructure of that large scale. So I think this would be an inside project and a close source project of Meta.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, see, we are trying to create an end-to-end movie making workflow-based tool, right? Because we understood that to make a movie, a film of 1 minute, also there is a lot of process that is involved, right? So right from the story generation and the storyboard creation and generation of images, generation of videos, and adding sound, right? So adding sound, right? So there is some specialty in this model about the sound, right? Every time our creators know that they want to give some additional effect, they need to go and search for a sound and then add to the scene, right? I guess Meta is trying to solve that problem also, right? Can you just throw some light on that?
Yes, sir. There's been some open source models which are already doing the image to audio thing. How they do is image is fed to a multimodal LLM, and the LLM describes what is present in the image. Like for example, a lightning or something which could describe as a sound, and then it tries to go through a library of them and generates a sound. But what Meta is trying to achieve is they are generating audio from directly from the video. And what problem does it solve is like for example, if there is a video of a lightning striking, so the Meta audio would generate the audio when the lightning exactly hits the ground. So that solves the issue of editing too, like placing the audio where we need inside a frame or a scene.
Right. Let's actually watch one of their videos. We say audio generation. Finally, we trained 13 billion parameter audio generation model that can take a video and optional text prompts, optional. But that means it can actually generate sound without taking the text also. And generate high quality and high fidelity audio up to 45 seconds. Mind blowing, right? And including ambient sound, sound effects, poly, and instrumental background music, all synced to the video content. So further, we introduce an audio extension technique that can generate coherent audio for videos of arbitrary lengths, or overall achieving state-of-the-art performance in audio quality, video to audio alignment, and text to audio alignment. This is looking like a magical box one. Right? So that means we can expect something like, all you need to do is just imagine. Right? We were doing a brainstorming exercise in the morning about a story that we wanted to create. Right? Probably that's the only thing that we need to do later. Right? If you can just imagine a storyline, the entire process can be done by AI till the post-production. Right? That's what actually we were imagining a few months ago. End-to-end movie production with just a prompt, whatever details that you want to add. Right? So a few months ago, it was sounding a little difficult, but now I don't think it is difficult. Right? So these models are becoming better, faster. Right? They are able to understand the language better. Not just the language, they are able to understand the spatial connections. Right? So now they are able to generate audio out of videos. Right? Maybe tomorrow, video out of audio also. That means if we just give a song from Suno, it probably will create the entire music video for that song without we doing anything. Right? So we were eagerly waiting for Meta to actually give it to us. It should actually give it to the people. Otherwise, it will become like Sora and Adobe Firefly Video. Right? People keep on waiting, and meanwhile, all other regular models they are upgrading themselves. Right? Kling is advancing. They added a lip sync feature, but 1.5 is much better. And there is Minimax that is already doing wonders, and they're going to add image to video very soon. Right? So Runway, as usual, it is advancing well. That is the best model that we have so far. Right?
The
So
releasing of the Runway API was very helpful to our team too.
yeah, they are releasing the API so that we can build products on it. See, finally, one question: why all these tech companies, they're going after media generation?
Because that's the way easiest way to convey a story.
right? Why? Because I think on the philosophical level, technology will take care of everything else. It will code your applications, it will do all other things, right? For the human beings. But what is going to be left with us is the creative aspect, right? Probably in few decades time, we'll be having all other resources taken care, all other things taken care with AI resources. I guess probably all we need to do in life is create things. Relax, sit back, generate a story, and share it. Right? Maybe we will be able to create movies of our own choice with our own actors, maybe custom actors or existing actors. Maybe let's say you want to make a movie of Will Smith in a story that you want, in a plot that you want. Okay. So all you need to do is set up all the things and click generate and wait for some time, and the movie gets generated, and that's your exclusive movie. That day is not too far. Okay. So that is on the entertainment side. But when you think about the education side, right? So what do you think is going to happen because of all these advancements in the media creations? How education can actually change?
Kids understand better watching YouTube videos of a topic rather than reading a subject topic. So I think the personalized video creation of each and every topic according to the student's level of understanding will be a lot of helpful for each and every student.
Right. So a few months ago, that was like a difficult thing, right? Because we are working on Buddy GPT on the similar concept, right? Because video generation, if it becomes more uh, agile, more faster, right? More personalized. So that means we can generate customized videos, customized content for each and every kid based on their understanding level. Because currently, as you rightly said, the same video is being watched by all the kids, mostly. Same content for all the kids. That is not the personalization, right? A kid with higher grasping power may not need to go through all the basics, right? A kid with some kind of issues in understanding things probably might need a different example, right? So that's where all these tools can play a major role, right? I'm actually wondering how quickly all these things are happening, right? I still remember in June, mostly in June or July, around June, I guess. I was thinking probably these things will take a lot of time to happen, right? In just 4 or 5 months, all these things are happening, right? So at this rate, we all are going to be thrilled, right? Whatever we're discussing, the entire movie generation with our own custom characters and custom everything, it's not too far. Okay. But of course, then comes the question of uh, the useful content, right? Useful and valuable content generation, right? People can generate anything they want, but it has to make sense. It has to be ethical, right? They should generate responsible content, right? Which can actually bring a change.
I think in education, not only for kids, even for adults who likes to understand the complex situations or problems in simple manner. When ChatGPT released, we were using a prompt like explain it to a 5-year-old. That was very helpful for understanding complex situations or complex problems. And recently, Notebook LM released a podcast which summarizes everything, complex topics, and
Yeah,
makes it easier
actually,
to
I
understand.
wanted to talk about it.
Mhm. What if
Right?
in the future we add the video part to the podcast?
Yes,
The characters come in to see it and explain visually everything.
exactly. So
Yeah,
that's
that is
that's
experimented on. As far as I know, there is, I don't remember the company name, they are creating avatars. So,
Mhm.
what they're going to do is they're going to extract the audio from the podcast, and on those realistic avatars, they are going to create a virtual podcast system for this teaching. And one more thing, I would say the responsible use of these tools that we are coming up with, especially something like this. If we do not know how to use it properly, it's gonna create a lot of problems since it has a personalized touch. You can just upload your picture, your friend's picture, and a movie is created. So if we do not teach the younger generation or the upcoming generations on how to use such a tool properly, it will create a lot of chaos, especially cyberbullying and harassment issues.
right. So last week I was talking to some teachers in Nigeria. Okay, so they all wanted something through which they can actually explain their concepts in an easily understandable manner, and which shouldn't take a lot of times, right? So now we have Google Notebook LM, right? That can actually solve a problem up to some extent, right? Because they have got so many, what do you say, documents. From those documents, they'll be able to generate some interactive content, interesting content. Like, for example, the you all studied Meta MovieGen document.
Get ready to dive into the future of filmmaking because today we're unpacking Meta's MovieGen AI. You sent us their research, and let me tell you, this isn't just some simple text to video thing.
Yeah.
MovieGen is building entire movies.
It really is something else.
Yeah.
What Meta's doing is like blurring the lines between what we thought was possible with AI and filmmaking. We're talking high quality, surprisingly realistic video, not just a few jittery seconds.
Seriously, we've both been digging through this research paper, and
Yeah.
it's a beast.
It is.
But once you cut through the technical stuff, what they've pulled off is incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first thing that struck me was how they dealt with the sheer volume of data. Videos are like data hogs.
Here's
And training an AI on that much information
Can you
usually means
imagine what's happening here?
I mean, the realistic conversation between two voices is just what amazes me every time. You do not even, if you were to send this podcast to someone, they will think that two researchers are discussing about the research paper or something. So this feature is really important of Notebook LLM. I
Now
feel like.
let's combine Notebook LM and Meta MovieGen.
That
You
could be
get
something on another
characters,
level.
yeah. I mean, this
Right?
gave me an idea actually. So, for example, if you have books that you read, everyone reads books, right? So, once you upload that book and we combine this audio part and the video part, we are able to generate an entire movie on the basis of those books. So,
Exactly.
those people
And
who like are waiting for like this book to become a reality, they can do it themselves now. You don't have to
and
wait.
imagine that it would generate a different story for you and a different story for me, because it knows how you consume information, how you understand information. Right? So just imagine this whole concept of movie gen itself. Imagine it is explained to you visually by just uploading a document. Right? Different to Sudhanshu, different to Aditi, different to Vishal, different to Johan, different to me, based on my own understanding and my own preferences. That's it. Right? So I think that's not too far. Right? So that definitely enhances our ability to understand the complex subjects. Right? So, actually, we were trying to do some experiments on it. Okay. We'll wait, of course, but what I see based on our own past experiments is we can also do it. Right? So if you break it down, so that's what we do, right? In Thinking 2.0, I actually, that is bringing another concept of Ishal's favorite.
Yeah, Thinking 2.0 is a very interesting concept that we have been working on for a long time. So it combines three types of human thinking together into a single component through which we can break down the real world problems and come up with possible solutions to them in a very simplistic way. So we got computational thinking where we actually start with analyzing and breaking down the problem to find possible solutions on how to tackle each of the sub problems. So
Right? So imagine we want to build something like what we're actually trying to build, right? A complete movie making machine right from your script. Okay? Right from your script or right from your seed idea, let's say. Right? Let's say if you want to really build it, you need to think fast. Right? You need to think about the possible, sub elements in it. Just give me a moment, guys. Okay. So I know I didn't actually think of it, but it came up. Right? So how about we apply the thinking, so-called thinking 2.0 to the movie generation aspect?
Yes,
Okay.
of course. It's been a lot of helpful for me in the last tool I was working on, the AI Film Studio tool.
Okay.
I implemented a part of Thinking 2.0 into that, thinking about the components and everything, the data, what API should be used, and what features,
Right.
all the features should be used.
Right.
I mean, then Johan and I were able to design the system. Once the components were ready, what we are going to use, how the data is coming in, going out. So we applied the design thinking to design the entire system, structure it out, where the data would be sent on clicking this button, where are we supposed to go, how the things would be arranged in a layout that the user can easily use it and understand.
Right. Let's imagine that we want to make a movie machine which can create a complete 1.5 hour movie right from your prompt. Or, a story document that you upload. So first of all, you don't understand anything, right? Because it sounds like a very big thing. But if you break it down, 1 hour, 30 minutes of movie, what are all the things it may have? Okay. So 1 hour, 30 minutes of movie is made with a series of scenes. Okay. So these scenes can be constructed right from the story. Okay. Each scene can be further broken down. Right? It has to have a small scene text.
Short one shot.
Right? And then the video or directly image or video itself. So we should be able to construct it. Okay. So you divide 1 hour, 30 minutes movie into subparts and then construct each and every part and then stitch it. The movie is made. Okay. So that thinking, we call it as computational thinking. You break it down. The biggest problem is the movie making. But if you break it down to smaller pieces, you understand how to deal with each of those pieces. So technically, we have got everything now, right? So, but the alignment is a problem, so that will be taken care. But you start thinking in a computational way, you can break it and you get ready to deal with each of these things. So the next level is how you deal with each of these sub-elements. Okay, so for you to build the scene, what all the things you need to generate dynamically. Okay, how do you apply the step-by-step mechanism to build it? Right? For example, for you to make a scene, currently what are the things you do, Aditi?
So we basically first start with the segmentation of scenes like screenplay, scripting, screenplay, then integrating it, forming more accurate scenes, and then going forward with the prompting, elaborating each and every frame. So it starts with scripting, screenplay, then prompting, and then generation,
Right?
and then
So
comparison.
if you break it down and if you put up a series of steps, okay, to produce that scene, yes, that can be programmed. Currently, whatever we're doing manually can be automated. Okay. So now to make it happen, what kind of model should we use? Right? For some scenes, maybe what is that? Dream Machine can do a good job. For some scenes, Runway can do a good job. For some scenes, maybe tomorrow, MovieGen may do a good job. Right? So this can be the data and AI thinking. We're just talking about basics now. Maybe tomorrow it can be more complex. Right? So I know this just came up, but I guess this is like working. Right? We'll get more clarity on this thinking 2.0 and how we can apply. That's an off-topic thing, but it came up. Right? That's good. So that means what we're trying to do or think is, yes, bigger things are possible if you think properly. Right? This notebook LM, it is not a big deal if you break it down. Because we already have PDF summarization scripts. Right? We already know how RAG works. Right? It is nothing but RAG. But they packaged it in a very beautiful way. Right? So they took the PDF, they analyzed it, they converted into, let's say, vector databases. Right? Now user can search, create any specific things out of it. Right? That's how they kind of predefined all of these things. Hey, generate FAQ, generate study guide, generate table of content, generate timeline, generate briefing document. These are all simple things, actually. We also can do it with ChatGPT. Okay. But when it comes to this part, they also generated a conversation out of this document. So have you ever tried actually generating a conversation style of content right from the document using any other tool?
Also,
Script for a podcast which contains a guest and a host. I'm just trying. I never tried. This document.
There's already been an open source version of Notebook LM with additional new features integrated, which has been built into Runway spaces.
Right? Host. Welcome to the AI Frontier podcast. I am your host, Dr. Sarah Chen. Today we have a special guest to discuss an exciting new development in AI-generated media. Please welcome Dr. Alex Thompson, one of the lead researchers on the MovieGen project at Meta. Alex, thanks for joining us. Alex, thanks for having me, Sarah. I'm excited to talk about our work. See, we already got 50% of this. Right, what next?
Text to speech.
Let's go to Relevant Labs. Right, so now we have two voices, Alex and Sarah. So we have Sarah's voice. Maybe Jessica.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine. If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
Okay.
Welcome to the AI Frontiers podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah Chen. Today we have a special guest to discuss an exciting new development in AI-generated media. Please welcome Dr. Alex Thompson, one of the lead researchers on the MovieGen project at Meta. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Right. So do you see it's happening?
Yeah.
Now we have Alex.
The thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief.
As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically.
The thing always happens.
A single rose can be my garden. Single.
So I think, yeah.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. I'm excited to talk about our work.
So you combine all of these clips, you got your podcast. But of course, they managed some things very nicely. See here, we need to tell that it shouldn't pause. That we need to make the settings or in spaces. We should make those changes so that it won't pause at specific periods, commas. Okay, so that's how it works. If you break it down, you can build anything with the kind of tools that you have. Right? All you need is thinking. So finally, Google has something which is actually good. Right? They have been trying to do so many things, but finally something is doing a damn good job. But this is not the end. Right? If you understand what's happening, the changes that are happening in the world, maybe with the Meta, MovieGen, and with some other tools, all these things will become much easier to do. Right? I'm actually seeing that happening. A realistic podcast or a conversation happening between two AI-generated people in a setting that you want. Like on a coffee table or in a podcast studio, right? You can select the characters and you generate, it will be generated, or it can be a single person also. Right? This is non-creative. But how about a creative thing? Right? So, of course, we used AI for the quick generation. So, in a bustling tech hub, Mia dreamed of creating stunning movies but lacked the resources of big studios. One day, she stumbled upon an intriguing ad seeking creative minds to test next gen AI filmmaking tools. Intrigued, Mia applied and soon found herself in a sleek lab with three others: Victor, the AI researcher behind the project, Gina, a vivacious writer, and Leo, a sound engineer with a permanent furrow in his brow. Victor gathered them around a futuristic looking computer. Welcome to MovieGen, he said, eyes twinkling. It's not just one AI, but a whole cast of them working together. Think of it as a magical movie studio that can bring your ideas to life. Mia's eyes widened. How does it work? Victor explained. You start by describing what you want, Why don't you give us a prompt? Gina thought for a moment, how about a curious cat exploring a steampunk city filled with clockwork contraptions? Victor nodded and typed it in. Within seconds, a high-definition video appeared on the screen. Lifelike tabby cat gracefully navigating brass gates and steam-powered machines in a Victorian esque cityscape. Incredible, Mia gasped. The detail, the motion, it's so realistic. Leo leaned in, skeptical. Sure, it looks good, but what about the sound? Victor smiled. Excellent question. MovieGen doesn't just create visuals, it can generate perfectly synchronized audio too. Listen. He pressed a button and suddenly the video came alive with sound. The soft pad of the cat paws, that whir and click of gears, his hiss of steam, and subtle, mysterious background score. Leo's eyebrows shot up. I'm actually impressed. The audio quality and synchronization are spot on. But wait, Mia interjected. What if I want to change something specific? And this is amazing, guys.
I think this would make an awesome ad for MovieGen directly from Meta.
Right? We can actually make and sell to them.
Using their model.
Their model. Right? This is future. This is not future. This is present, actually. Right? So if we can do something to create this whole thing without doing manual work, that's it. Right? One source document and many different types of contents. But of course, we don't want to do it manually, but Meta, with its promise, can actually do it and actually create everything and stitch it together and deliver. Okay. Great. I guess we had a wonderful discussion. So any closing remarks?
I mean, the way the technology is advancing, especially in the core of media generation, I think we would be the dominating part of this media generation is like for example, YouTube, the media companies. They're gonna have a greater leverage now, especially the startups that are targeting media zones. They would be able to come up with better, marketing agencies or film creation agencies, and the traditional system of this video creation or content creation would be eroded slowly with time. So I think we should focus more on how to leverage this into different sources. For example, content generation, media creation, marketing strategies, advertising. So one source can be used for multiple sources.
Very good.
Also, sir, as in the complete podcast, as we speak that if we want to do great in the future, then the one thing that we have to be great is in the creative part.
Yes.
That all part will other the machine will take care of, but we have to be creative in this stuff. If we will be
Yeah.
creative, then we can create whatever we want.
Absolutely.
That's
Very good. And Aditi,
So like the art of using AI to just it. That's it. That's the power.
what do you see coming with tools like, Meta,
Yeah.
MovieGen?
MovieGen, sir. Like all these issues, it will overcome all these issues, I believe. Not 100%. Like
Yeah.
I guess, sir, in Luma, I wasn't able to achieve parallelism between the scenes. That is showing two scenes together. I
Hmm.
tried that. Because of that, there was a glitch in my entire movie. So MovieGen will be able to overcome that.
Yeah.
Also,
Let's hope for that. And Johan, finally.
I think with all these advancements and in AI and all this content creation, I think it solves very large problems that our creative team is facing while creating all these images and videos. I think it helps us a lot. And I hope the final product is open to public or even open source in that case, which helps us to integrate into our own applications. And I aim to build a lot of products the same.
Very good. So, you know what I think? I am getting crazy thoughts now. Because whatever I thought would happen after, 6 years, they're already happening. So probably our imagination is not sufficient. Right? We should do our imagination in a more wilder way now. Right? So generating movies is not going to be a big deal. But probably combining them with augmented reality, the so-called XR, virtual reality, augmented reality, and 3D worlds, right? Combining real and virtual. So that is going to be the next big thing because Meta is already working on it. Recently, you might have seen, right? Their glasses,
Orion.
right? So I guess there is a connection between the glasses that they announced and the model that they're announcing now, right? There might be a connection. So what I see is we are entering the so-called metaverse, right? So this Meta talked about metaverse a long time ago, but people didn't understand it properly. People didn't think that is a possibility, but slowly, because of the advancements in AI, that can happen, and we all will be there in metaverse, right? With content generation automatically happening. Right? Because tomorrow, let's say you just wear glasses and you can just go into a different world where you find realistic scenes around you, realistic people around you.
They have been working on this virtual world very long time back. So they created these avatars. First they started out with avatar creation in a virtual reality, then they advanced into this virtual surrounding making, and now they are going into like the classes came in. So everything is linked together to create that virtual world a reality, into an augmented reality.
That's the final part.
So,
right? So I guess all these sub elements are coming up now. We have better VR glasses now, right? Now the content generation engines are coming up, right? Then the gaming engines are getting enhanced, right? And so all these things, they combinedly, they start creating virtual worlds in a better way so that we do more better things without actually going anywhere. So that's the point. Okay, so let's see what happens, and it may not take years. We don't know. Maybe tomorrow someone may announce some crazy thing, right? So in this world, we cannot just stay silent and just observe things. We got to be actively doing things. That's what I told in the morning, right? What we know today may not be relevant tomorrow. Right? Just imagine all of us, we were just creating images and then converting to videos and then adding sounds. With this model, all those things, they're wiped off. Okay? The process will change forever. Right? So that is same thing is happening in the technology side also. Well, there it may take some time, but it will eventually happen. What you are doing today may not be relevant tomorrow. You don't probably need to do the same thing tomorrow. Right? It may get much easier. Okay, so this is an exciting time to live in. Right? Crazy, exciting, as well as dangerous also. If you don't keep track of what is happening, and if you are just delayed by one day in understanding what is happening, probably you may lose some opportunities. Okay? So, with that, I'm closing this session. Thank you very much for joining in, everyone. Have a good day.